Yeah, it's good to be starting the new role. I mean, it's great because we've got the new grant with the ATI and Innovate UK, and so having someone who's focused on that, sort of a technical officer rather than chief engineer, including operations, is a great thing to have. Yeah, so I did a PhD at the University of Nottingham where I found out a lot about EDM and things like that, and also did some work with the University Technology Centre with Rolls-Royce there around fixturing design for blades and things like that. So some of those things are they're both quite closely related to what we do here at Scintam. So having done all that, I think it was a good fit for me to move into Scintam and sort of cut my teeth on the design skills to develop the systems that we have here, and then move into manufacturing. And we're continuing to do that to this day. Yeah, so in the early days, I think there's some of the best ones. The first time we got an EDM machine to actually cut some metal, to erode some metal away. First time we had sparks, still got that in my desk drawer, the first ever prototype we made. And then there's also things like going to our first customers and installing the first machines, and then installing the second machine, and so forth. So many milestones like that. At Scintam, historically, we've had a small team, and that means that we have a lot of control over the product. So things like making sure that it's good quality, I think that's really on the team which is here. So we're all really engaged with that kind of thing, and making those decisions, and that's been really great at Scintam. Whereas I think companies which have been historically much larger, I wouldn't have had so much control over the technical decision making from the get-go, and that's been a really good experience here. All of them. So building the first machine, I think we learned a lot about how to design a system which is that complicated in general, and how to make it really slick for users and make sure that not just the sort of the quality control, but the fit and finish of the machine in general is quite high. And so that was a milestone for the first one, and we took that into the second machine that we designed. So that was a much smoother process. I think they've both ended up just as high quality as each other, but made it much smoother, and it's really hit home the need to rely on the team's understanding, so their experience in their fields. So I try not to dictate to them exactly how something is done too much, because at the end of the day, a lot of the time they know better than me. So I think the main thing coming up in the next 18 months is the ATI grant for the feed machine that we're building. So that's going to be automating a lot of the fast EDR system in a way that's never been done before on an EDM machine, I believe. There's some interesting challenges in how the market will change for the remanufacturing sector. So our ARTES machine, which we sell to remanufacturing of all the automotive industry. So at the moment that's primarily focused on turbochargers, but that's going to change in the next 20-30 years, and so we need to keep an eye on the future, and whether that's going to be batteries or something similar, we need to keep that work going. So here at Scintam, I think we're always finding new innovations and places to do that. So of course feed, there's a lot of space to innovate there, but also in the ARTES machine, there's a lot of things that you can do with our machine which have been put in place on the mechanical side for the automation of the machine, but they've not been implemented in software. So you can expect to see a lot more features coming into that soon, which is really exciting. The staff here, we have quite an informal atmosphere, so we always have a good laugh and a joke, especially in the workshop. There's always a bit of competition over who can be the tidiest or probably the least messy. So that's an ongoing bit of sort of office banter here.